Word of their extraordinary bond began to spread through the marine biology community. Dr. Sarah Martinez, a cetacean behavior specialist from the University of California, came to observe their interactions. What she witnessed challenged decades of research. In 30 years of studying marine mammals, Dr. Martinez recorded in her notes, "I have never observed such deliberate, emotionally intelligent behavior. This dolphin demonstrates problem-solving abilities, emotional recognition, and what can only be described as genuine affection for a human." But the most remarkable discovery was yet to come. Using underwater cameras, Jessica documented something unprecedented. Echo had been teaching other dolphins in his pod about humans. 3 younger dolphins began approaching Jessica with the same greeting ritual Echo had established, the 3 circles and extended fin. Echo wasn't just bonding with Jessica, he was sharing their friendship with his family. The implications were staggering. This wasn't just animal intelligence or learned behavior. This was cultural transmission, emotional intelligence, and possibly even something approaching love. A connection so profound it transcended species barriers. As Jessica floated in the bay that golden afternoon, Echo beside her as always, she realized their story was challenging everything science understood about the emotional capabilities of dolphins. But more than that, it was proving that love, in all its mysterious forms, might be one of the most universal languages in the ocean. The research data was compelling, but the truth was simpler and more beautiful. Jessica had found her soulmate. He just happened to have fins instead of hands, and a heart as vast as the ocean itself. Their love story was rewriting the textbooks, one magical encounter at a time. The morning sun cast golden ripples across Monterey Bay as marine biologist Jessica Chen adjusted her diving equipment for what she thought would be another routine research dive. Little did she know that this day would change her life forever and forge a bond so extraordinary that it would challenge everything science thought it knew about interspecies connection. As Jessica descended into the kelp forests, 30 feet below the surface, her trained eye catalogued the familiar sights: swaying kelp fronds, schools of silvery fish, and the occasional sea otter playing above. But something unusual caught her attention: a lone bottlenose dolphin, larger than most she'd encountered, floating motionless near a rocky outcropping. The dolphin's behavior was unlike anything in her textbooks. Instead of the typical curiosity followed by swift departure, this magnificent creature seemed to be waiting. "Hello, beautiful," Jessica whispered into her regulator, the words lost in a stream of bubbles. But somehow, impossibly, the dolphin seemed to understand. Those intelligent dark eyes locked onto hers, and in that moment, Jessica felt something she'd never experienced before. A profound sense of recognition, as if she'd found a long-lost friend. The dolphin, who Jessica would later name Echo, began a graceful dance around her. Not the playful acrobatics typical of dolphins, but something almost ceremonial. Echo would circle Jessica 3 times, then pose directly in front of her, extending one fin as if offering a handshake. When Jessica tentatively reached out, Echo gently touched her gloved hand with the tip of his fin. Day after day, Jessica returned to the same spot, and Echo was always there. Their meetings became a secret ritual. Echo would bring gifts, unusual shells, pieces of colorful coral, sometimes even lost jewelry from shipwrecks. But more remarkably, he seemed to understand Jessica's moods. On days when she was stressed from her research deadlines, Echo would perform gentle, soothing movements. When she was excited about a discovery, he would leap and spin with infectious joy. The breakthrough came during Jessica's 3rd week of encounters. While examining a section of reef damaged by a recent storm, Jessica became entangled in an old fishing net. Panic set in as the net tightened around her air tank and diving gear. Her oxygen supply was compromised, and she was 30 feet from the surface with no diving partner. That's when Echo transformed from gentle companion to fierce protector. With precision that would make a surgeon envious, Echo used his rostrum, the elongated snout, to carefully work at the net. But time was running out. Jessica's vision began to blur as her air supply dwindled. In a move that defied all scientific understanding of dolphin behavior, Echo positioned himself beneath Jessica and began ascending rapidly, carrying her toward the surface while continuing to work at the entangling net with his teeth. They breached the surface together, Jessica gasping for precious air while Echo remained close, his body serving as a living flotation device. Using a series of precise movements, Echo finally freed Jessica from the net. As she floated there, overwhelmed with gratitude and disbelief, Echo did something that brought tears to her eyes. He sang. Not the typical dolphin clicks and whistles, but a complex melodic sequence that seemed almost human. It was as if he was telling her a story, sharing something deeply personal. Jessica later discovered that this particular vocalization pattern had never been documented in scientific literature.